I-17F got a call from the police about a work incident and want me to come in to talk. Do I go in? I-17F have been working at a local grocery store for 2 years. It's a great place to work and I really would hate to lose my job. This morning I got a phone call from the police telling me they have been made aware of an incident at the grocery store that involves me, and they want me to come into the station to discuss what it's about. I told them that I have a shift this morning. They told me to call in sick and come to the station. The only thing I can think it's about is that I've been taking old bakery items and produce at the end of the days when I'm closing. The food either gets sent away as a donation or thrown in the trash. I always make sure I'm not taking from the donation selection. The manager told me it's okay for me to do this, but I know the owner wouldn't approve. I'm freaking out. Am I going to get charged with stealing? Would I get in this much trouble for taking expired cookies at the end of my shift? I don't even think the owner could prove I've done this. There aren't any cameras at the back room with the garbage. I don't think the manager would tell on me since he tells me and offers me these things. Do I go in? Help. I told the police that I'll see what I can do about work and get back to them. Some of OOP's comments. OOP clarifies, sorry. Yes, they did tell me to bring an adult with me. Both my parents are at work, and I was super afraid to call them to tell them and confess I've been stealing. But I think I do need to call them. We'll do that now. A commenter. There is a minimum dollar amount for a theft to be considered a crime, if you will, and I want to say it's normally about $700, and it has to be in one theft. If it's below the minimum of whatever is in your jurisdiction, it likely a misdemeanor, and you can't be prosecuted from what I remember. OOP. That's a relief. Because I really don't think I've taken over $700 in expired food. The police did give them their badge numbers and names to write down to give to my parents. I've tried calling my parents, but they are both at work and didn't pick up. Sent them texts. My shift isn't for another 2 hours, so I'm going to wait for my parents before calling the manager. Update 1. About 8 minutes later, update 1. I texted my parents and my mom just called. She told me she called the police and that she's coming to pick me up in a half hour to go to the station. She sounded really upset, but not at me. She told me that I'm not in trouble, but to not even call my work. What is going on? Update 2. Sometime in the next several hours, update 2. Wow. Thank you for all the advice. I took the initial ones I read and got my parents involved right away. My mom was a boss. I have to think about what I can update and get back to you all later because it's honestly really bad. Like nightmare fuel and legally bad. I'm okay. I think. Was at the station for hours. I'm not in trouble. It was not about stealing cookies. But it's far from over. Sorry for being so vague. Update 3. June 6, 2025. Update 3. First, I wanted to clarify. The police were not suggesting that I go in without my parents. They called and asked to speak to my parents. When I told them they were not home, they asked me to get them to call them back. When I asked what it was about, they told me the above. When I told them I can't come in today because I'm working, they told me it was important and to do what I needed to do, like call in sick. I apologize for being more clear about that phone call. A lot of you were concerned the police were trying to take advantage of me. Thank you for caring. I was just freaking out thinking I was going to get in trouble for stealing old bakery items that the manager told me I could take. I've never been in trouble before, so I was mortified I'd have to confess this to my parents. The first few commenters were telling me to talk to my parents, which kind of snapped me out of it. And like, duh. I need to tell my parents. So I did pretty quickly. I don't know what the police told my mom, but she got home faster than she said and took me straight there. My dad was there when we got there. I was freaking out, even though my mom told me it wasn't not about me stealing and to not worry about that. She also called my work and told them I wouldn't be coming in for my shift. On to the update. The previous manager was filming employees changing in and using the bathroom. An old coworker was tipped off by someone that they found a video of her on some porn website. There were dozens of videos posted of multiple girls over many years using the bathroom and changing in the bathroom. I am one of those girls. The only video I saw of myself that they wanted to verify it was me was of me going into the washroom to put my hair up and putting lip gloss on in the mirror. I know there is more, but I didn't want to see it. There was a whole team there of mostly female officers, counselors, etc. I was actually pretty impressed by how they presented and handled it all. Because, well, like so many of you, I don't trust cops and they've never really made me feel safe. The old manager was arrested. I'm not sure when, but it was before they called me. They got my number from one original victim who gave out numbers of all female employees that she had. It's a whole thing. I was asked many questions. I was also asked to identify 2 unknown victims, like a screenshot from a video. Seems like they are customers who somehow got access to the employee bathroom because no one can identify them. It's been a lot to process. I always thought that guy was a creep. He's the nephew of the owner. I fucking wish it was about pastries. Some of OOP's comments. Commenter. From the way your mom reacted, I knew this is what it would be, but I didn't want to creep you out or worry you if I was wrong. I am so sorry this happened to you. I'm glad your parents are advocating for you. Don't allow anyone to minimize or sweep this under the rug. Ask for therapy. Call the police with any questions. There are websites that you can sign up for that will alert you if the creep is ever releases from jail. If you want to be involved in the legal process in order to stand up for yourself with something like a victim impact statement that can be used in court, ask the police about it. OOP. A few people guessed it, but I already knew by the time I came back and tried to read all the comments. My parents have me set up with therapy tomorrow. I don't feel like I need it, but I understand how these things can grow. Commenter. Oh my God. I wish I could give you a hug. That is so scary. I'm glad the police took it seriously, and it sounds like set you up with some counselor contacts and resources. Make sure you keep those, and even if you don't opt to use them right away, you might want in future. Human brains are funny about how they process stuff. OOP. Thanks. Apparently, this has been an investigation for a while now. The OG victim stopped working there 3 years ago, which means he's been filming in there since before I worked there. But he only left 6 months ago, so was filming while I was 15. So gross. Going back to work. I won't be going back to work there. It's too creepy. To another commenter. Thanks. My mom told me to take the summer off work and have fun, but I like working, so I'm going to find a new job. Commenter. Glad they caught him, and I'm sorry this happened to you. You seem like a very kind, nice person being so worried about eating day-old items you were told you could eat. It's nice to see people with a conscience, but don't be so tough on yourself. OOP. It seems so silly now that I was so worried about cookies. I think to avoid that guilt in the future, I'll just not do anything that makes me feel a little uneasy. Save myself the stress. Commenter. Recommend that your mother speak to an attorney. It's disgusting, and the ex-manager and store need to be sued and him jailed. Nothing is going to make this right, so to speak, but a lawsuit, if successful, may help with college expenses and/or therapy should you need it. OOP. I haven't agreed yet, but they're putting together a whole charge on him with any of the girls that want to press charges. Parents are talking about suing the store. Commenter. Hindsight is certainly 20/20. But I just got to laugh at all the people on here talking out their ass. Don't trust the police. Tell them to get a warrant, etc., and they were acting in a capacity to protect this young lady and others who had been victimized by this weirdo manager. This should serve as a lesson. Maybe we are all too damn opinionated about things we know very little about. OOP. The first commenters were so helpful, telling me to talk to my parents. I'm kind of glad I didn't check back here before doing just so. I probably would have gotten really scared. New update post. December 9th, 2025. Back in June I was asking for advice on the subject line. I thought it was because I had been taking home-baked goods that were basically garbage, but turned out a past manager had been secretly recording me, my coworkers, and customers in the bathroom. He was uploading the videos on some Russian porn site. Some of the videos of me were taken while I was a minor. I got good advice. I'm still getting messages asking for an update, so here I am. Here's my update. Manager got arrested, but was released pretty quickly on bail. His uncle is one of the owners of the establishment, and apparently was aware of his pervertedness. Some girls complains about him taking their pictures, as well as being inappropriate. Instead of firing him, his uncle moved him from store to store. This caused a pretty big uproar among the local community. The uncle allegedly got kicked out from being an owner or something. In total there were 8 of us that were filmed, ages 14-50-something. Court case won't happen until sometime next year. I've gotten therapy, and I'm doing pretty alright. The last many months, especially in the summer, were pretty messed up. I'm glad all the info gathering is over with. Court will be pretty exhausting. Myself and the others are suing for damages. There's a lot more I can't say, but that's the gist. Dude got arrested, then released, lots of evidence, corrupt family shit, local uproar. We'll see what next year brings.